Hello and welcome. I am Dogbert here to talk about why is there so much salt in this community. And well, it all comes down to really Scopely, and the community unfortunately will not do anything to correct them, will not stand up to them, will not take the actions needed. Because honestly, it's like asking a drug addict, why don't you stand up to your drug dealer and say his prices are too high and outrageous, stop doing this. And then you go buy the drugs. Yeah, I'm really equating Scopely to a drug dealer. And it really is, because we are really addicted to this game. Why else would we keep playing? The endless amount of bugs. Apparently now, we have learned that a holiday for one day equals we can't work for an entire week. We all have to go on vacation for that entire week. And for Christmas and New Year's. Then we have to take entire months off. We can't work around any holiday at all. That's how lazy they are. And how do we know they're lazy? Because they won't even fix simple bugs that have been in the game forever. Like the phantom buffs. They can't even be bothered to check offer text. I'm talking actual description text. Where in 30 seconds you can proofread it and figure it out. But you know what? None of this matters compared to all the salt on Reddit where everybody will complain. Let's just take a look at that real quick. So here is the current Reddit. What do we have? Oh, we're talking about the event design. Oh, look. They're on vacation. More salt. Being short-staffed. Salt. Gamma Ore disappeared the bug last night. Oh. Complaining. Flash pits. Let's see. Lots and lots of salt. Everybody's so angry. Oh, there's actual guide. I'm not even just scrolling through it. So, why is the community so salty? Because we allow it to be. We won't take any action. We'll make videos crying about farmability. Like characters like Emma over 2 years, the Eternals, forget about it. And we keep throwing money at them. Nothing's going to change. We won't do anything to make them change. So, why do we bother? Why are we still playing this game? It is at its core a very fun game. I do enjoy it as well. It does have major issues with who's running it, obviously. And of course, we also have the communication issues. Which brings me to another point. Let me find it. And then we have Archangel. Now, I don't think he meant this to be a bad thing, but he is actually showing that he is a rookie in his job with this. In that he has caused himself actually some more problems by doing this. It's nice that he communicated, but first, we had the whole team is limited capacity this week. Well, unfortunately, that's the truth, and it is his job to report that. It's not his fault that they all decide to take vacation every time there's a freaking holiday and they take an entire week off and don't want to work. Unfortunately, he's just the messenger in this case. That's okay, not on him. He's reported the raid milestones and they should be fixed early next week. Again, out of his control, he did his job. That's great. He's communicating, let us know that it has been acknowledged. Reported the war concerns for the zones on the third war. Okay, that's good. To be noted, the event was designed around 2 world wars, so the idea was players could max it with A-Force at Gear 15. Whether we agree with that or not his fault. He is just the messenger. Now, that's where he should have stopped. Here comes the problem. He talks about, doing a third war, if you, do 14 attacks, which is unreasonable, because not everybody can do 14 attacks unless they're actually, just losing out, because there's just simply not enough fights if otherwise. But beyond that. And as soon as the third one starts, do all your attacks at the start, you should be good. Also, it lets us know that canceled attacks don't count. That's okay. That's okay to say. But then he says it was advice he gave his alliance. Now he brings that up, which brings up another question now, which he has done to himself. What other advice is he giving to his alliance? Is he giving them insider information so that they have information that we don't have to give themselves an advantage. Unfortunately, it was his own bringing up. I don't think he didn't mean to do it as maliciously. He's trying to be helpful. He's trying to be helpful to the community. But when you're an employee like this, who actually plays the game, which he's probably one of, well, that's it. He's probably the only one. It brings up the question of integrity. Is he giving his alliance? Now we have to question it because he mentioned it. We wouldn't have thought about it before, but now we got to think about it. And he goes on to say, like, you know, in case you missed it. So that was good, but once he starts talking about giving his alliance advice, well, he's going to have to deal with that one himself. I don't think he's a bad guy. I just think he's a rookie. He's making mistakes. Rookie mistakes. But alas. So, I would like to say the community should do something, but I don't think they will. We all know the envoys won't because, you know, they have to be white knights. They think they can make a difference. We already know they can't. If they could actually make a difference, things wouldn't be this bad. There's really no point in me talking about that anymore. But I will leave one last suggestion. One last Hail Mary. One last thing that the community could actually do. And not just for Marvel Strike Force, but for mobile gaming in general. Our one last hope is this. For mobile gaming in general. But you can also report to Scopely. That is to go to here. It might be called reportfraud.ftc.gov. The FTC is the Federal Trade Commission. And they can, you also, if you look, if you actually look in their FAQs, what can I report? Report anything that may be fraud, scam, or bad business practice, such as mobile games, predatory offers, how they're addictive and unregulated. I'll leave a link to this down in the description, but you can go here and file a report. Will this do anything? Not for one person, but if many people do it, it'll get the FTC to actually take a look at the mobile game practices and the mobile game industry and maybe gaming industry and micro and macro transactions in general. And maybe they'll start looking into composing rules and actually regulate this industry. Because it's obviously not going to police itself. That's quite obvious. It's a long shot. But it is something you can do. And this is probably the only way we're going to do it. Whether or not anybody actually does it, I don't know. I know I'm doing it. And maybe one day, because this is the government, don't forget they move about as fast as Scopely will move to make the Eternals farmable or Emma. But maybe one day we can actually get some real change, get some real regulations, get this industry under control, and stop the abusive practices. And maybe then we can actually not all be addicts and just have fun. Until next time, everybody.